We are seeing a very little decline on the price of Bitcoin, but I am looking at something very different because the market is going to move upward in the next coming days, and I'm going to show you why in this very video. Also, the price of ETH, if you look at it, market is coming back down already if you look at this very point, and in my opinion, market is going to move upward as well. And the price of BNB, all of these and many more in this very video. Pay attention, watch this video all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the price of Bitcoin. Look at it. Bitcoin dropped crazily all the way to the downside, and some persons were expecting the market to go below this very point, that is below $102,000, even below $100K. I was not expecting that kind of drop again, since the market just crashed all the way to this very point. We need to see reduced momentum after this very aggressive crash all the way to the downside. So if you look at this very point, it is called that market still came back down from here to the downside, and we see this very movement. And you discover that this very movement we see here is a little bit longer compared to this short move before this move to the downside. What that signifies is that the market will begin to have some kind of recovery in the next coming days. In my opinion, I am not expecting the market to go below this very area, okay, in the next coming days. Rather, I'm expecting the market to come down a little bit, okay, and then we should see the market begin to move upward, and the market should go above this very area of $116,000 and $115,000. This is very, very important. So if you are a BTC trader, whether you're trading on spot or on futures, the most important thing right now is to look for recovery in the market. And that recovery have already started on the 1-day chart and on the 4-hour chart. So if you look at this very point, this is an important area of interest for me. And this very point is where I am expecting the market to ride into. So in the next coming days, expect this very movement to move upward. And from here, we're going to see the market move into this very area. And a breakout here is going to send us into this very level of $120K. And this is what you need to pay attention to right now. First thing first, the most important thing you need to pay attention to right now is after this candle formation, this candle that is forming right now, any other candle that forms on this price chart and that candle close above this very area right here, that means it close above the 110,800, okay, this very point right here, $110,800. Any candle that close above that, that must be a bullish candle, of course, that form and close above this very area. Then be very sure, in my opinion, that the market is going to move into this very area of $116,000. And if we see a breakout here, the market is going to move into the $120,000. This is what I am now expecting on this very price action, BTC USDT 1-day chart. I know, of course, price action differs from different outlook. That means you will be looking at something very different from what I am personally looking at on price action, and that is very, very okay. So from here, in my opinion, once we see that bullish candle that form and close above this very point of 110,800, then market is going to move into this very area. A breakout here, market is going to go into $120K. This is what you should pay attention to right now on this very price action from now moving forward. And this is what I am closely monitoring on my price action as well. And if you come to the 4 hours chart, BTC USDT 4 hours, it is covered that the market here came back down. I was expecting this, okay, market came back down to this very point, and right now market is going to move upward. Now this is what I'm expecting on the 4-hour chart, so you need to pay attention to this. Very importantly, see this area is a very important area on this very price action already. So 2 things that I'm expecting on this price action, to be very precise, is for the market from where it is right now, this very price level where it is right now of $108,000, come down a little bit into this area before the next move to the upside. Very important. Or the market from where it is right here begin to move all the way upward. What that means is I am not expecting the market to go below this very area right here of $105,000. I'm not expecting the market to go below that. Okay, market can do that, but for market to move upward, I am not expecting that move into $105,000 and even below that for this very move to come in. What that means is I am expecting the market to either from here move upward, okay, into the $116,000, or market come back down a little bit, okay, into this area of 107 and $106,000 before the next move to the upside. These are very important thing to pay attention to, and once I begin to see some kind of bullish confirmation, then I'm going to be dropping it on this Telegram channel. So if you're not on the Telegram channel, or if you've not joined the Telegram channel, I'll be dropping the link in the description of this very video and also in the pinned comment. Join right now. It is a free channel to receive more updates, and I'll be taking a trade on BTCUSDT from this very point moving forward, because I perceive that the market is going to move upward from this analysis, and this is very, very important. So on the 4-hour chart, pay attention to market moving forward, and a long position will be the nice thing to do on futures, or a buy position on spot. And if you come to the ETH BTC 1-day chart, it is covered that the markets have not created any new clues since the market created this very clues right here. So one thing very important that we see right here on the ETH price action is we see these very clues. Of course, market dipped down into this very area, okay, but this was the close, and then when markets were coming back down, this close is a little bit higher compared to this very area. However, what I am expecting is for the market to still come down. That possibility is there for market to come down into this very point, okay, before the final move to the upside. So I'm keeping my eye closely on this very level I want to show you right now. So for the market to move forward, you see this very area, market need to break this very point right here. Market need to break this very point right here of 3,982. Okay, once we see a bullish candle that move upward and close above this very area, 3,982, you can say approximately $4,000. Once that bullish candle comes in and the market break above $4,000, then I'll be very sure, in my opinion, that market is going to begin to move upward with significant bullish momentum, and that target is this very area of 4,300. Okay, market is going to push into 4,300 level, and this is very important on the 1-day chart. Of course, before we see that, market can push back down a little bit, okay, push down a little bit and then begin to move upward. But the most important thing is, even though you see the market begin to push down, maybe after the formation of this very candle for me right now on the 1-day chart ETH, and then you see another bearish candle come down, another bearish candle come down, don't worry yourself that much. Relax and wait for the market to move upward, and then a breakout, okay, on this very area, this very price level of $4,000 will make the market to shift into this very area of 4,300. Very important, guys, very important. Pay attention to this, because this will make you be in the right direction of the market. Not only that, it will make you relax and wait for that to happen. Even though you see the market begin to come back down a little bit, you relax, wait for that bullish move to enter into the market, and we should see a breakout of $4,000. Once that happens, market is going to move upward. And I'm going to also give a signal on this, and that will be on the Telegram channel. Join right now for prompt update. So this is very important on the price of Bitcoin. Don't pay deaf ear to this. It's going to play out, in my opinion, and that is why I am showing you guys out on this very price action. And if you look at the 4 hours chart on the price of ETH, in my opinion, market should come down a little bit, okay? Market should come down a little bit, and not a crazy move to the downside, but just a little move into this very area before the next move to the upside. And this is very important. So this very point is where I am expecting market to come down into this very area. Market should enter into this very point, and then we should see the next move from this very area. So from where the market is right now, I still expect market to push down into this very point, and then from here we should see the market begin to have some kind of momentum to the upside, and this is very, very important. So if you are trading on the 4-hour chart, I think as the market enter into this area, begin to prepare to take a long position to the upside, and you are going to be in the right direction of the market, in my opinion. And this is very important on the 4-hour chart, ETH USDT. And if you come to BNB, it is called that BNB have been coming back down after a creation of a new all-time high at this very point of $1,371. Market has been coming all the way to the downside, which is very, very good for BNB, because market will not be moving parabolically all the way to the upside all the time. It must move up and must come back down as well. So this go back and forth, and that is what we are seeing on price action right now, which is not a bad thing. So for BNB, I still see that this market have much momentum of coming back down, and that is why I am looking at this very area for the market to come down into this very point. Okay, this very point is where I'm expecting the market to come into. So still expect this very movement in the market to go down on the price of BNB into this very area, okay, between this very price level of 976 and this very price level of $1,033. Okay, within this very area, I am expecting market to come into that very point, and then I'm going to do further verification and look at my analysis parameters to verify that this is going to be the last point before the market is going to begin to move upward again. However, since we're waiting for this to happen, I want to see the market come back down into this very area before any move to the upside or a breakout here will further send the market to the downside. However, the tendency of market breaking out and market crashing back down aggressively is just 30% for me, and 70% market coming to this area is going to move back upward. This is what you have to pay attention to as well on the price of BNB USDT 4-hour chart. Very, very important on this very price action. And if you come to the 4 hours chart as well on the BNB USDT, you discover that market has been coming back down, which means I don't see any much aggressive move to the downside on the price of BNB. That means don't expect more aggressive move all to this very point. Okay, market can come down here later, but on the shorter term, expect a little move to the downside into this very area of 1051 and this very area of 1030 and 1020 before the next push to the upside. What that means is don't expect too much aggressive dump, okay, on BNB right now, because the markets have been moving all the way to the downside. Look at it right here. Market has been moving all the way to the downside, which means market may not have that capacity, or the BS may not have that capacity to still push the market to the downside. And that is why I am not expecting crazy dump all the way to the downside or a crazy bearish move all the way to the downside. Rather, I am just looking at market shift a little bit to the downside and begin to have some recovery. And this is very important on the price of BNB USDT 4 hours chart. And back to the Sol USDT 1-day chart, you look at it right here. You discover that the market has been coming back down, okay? And we did not see much dump on the price of Sol, okay, as markets move crazily to the downside. Of course, it's dumped, but not that aggressively compared to many other altcoins out there. If you look at this, market create this high, come back down, a new close lower than the previous close here, move upward, could not create a new high at this very point, come back down, another new low lower than the previous low at this very area. So of course this is a downward movement. Okay, market is now moving downward, creating new lower lows. So having seen this, then that means we can of course draw a very sound trend line, okay, from this very point, okay, to this very area, and draw this out. This trend line, very important trend line to pay attention to from now moving forward, because market have greater capacity of respecting this very trend line. So what I am looking at right now is for the market to move down a little bit, okay, just a little bit of movement on the 1-day chart Solana USDT. So from here, a little bit of movement, just very little movement to the downside is required, and the market is going to move upward. And what that means is, if you are looking at market crashing back to the downside, maybe you may be correct, but in my opinion, I am just looking at little move, and the market will begin to move all the way to the downside. And this is very, very important. Now, number one verification that you need to look out for to see to the fact that market has finished this movement to the downside is for you to see a bullish candle that close above this very price area, okay, this very price point of 190, okay, $190. Once you see a bullish candle that close above $190, once that bullish candle appear on the price action, remember on the 1-day chart, once we see that candle bullish appear on the 1-day chart and cross that $190, then I will be looking at the market move into this very area. Okay, it's going to approach this very trend line, and that is why this trend line is very important right now on price action. So for me, I will wait and relax for the market to do anything they want to do below this very price area. So anything market want to do below this very price area is very, very okay. And then once it move and break out of this very area above 190, that is 191, 192, 193, then I will consider this a good movement to the upside. So you can turn back to the 4 hours chart and begin to look for a buy opportunity into this very area right here. Very important. That is what I am personally looking at right now, and you can also pay attention to this, or also put this into your perspective of price action right now on your Sol USDT 1-day chart. This is very important, guys, and you need to pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market. For me, this is very, very simple. Once price cuts across that very price area of 190 on the 1-day chart, and if you come to the 4 hours chart here, still on Sol USDT, it is covered that the market moved, and if you notice, this very movement does not have strength. Okay, in as much as we say that does not have strength, there is no bullish momentum right here. You can also point to the fact that this very one forming right now from the BS does not also have strength as well. So what can happen here is for the market to move down a little bit, okay, into this area, and then move up, come back down, and then begin to move upward. Most importantly, if we see a breakout here, okay, within this very area, the market is going to begin to fly all the way to the upside. Of course, before market is going to break out here, I want to see a pushback into this point, that is into 180 and 185, for the market to move upward. So between this very area where the market is right now of 184, market can push back down into 180, okay, before the next move to the upside. And that is what I'm expecting right now on the price of Sol. So expect this on the price of Sol, very important. And if you come back to the price of TRX, TRON USDT 1-day chart, for me, TRON have greater capacity of moving upward, okay, even much more than BNB can do from where it is right now, and even much more than Solana can do from where it is right now. So for me, TRX USDT 1-day chart, very importantly, have greater capacity of moving upward. And that is why I am looking at the market moving into this very area. So this very point is the next point of interest on this very price action, right at this very point. And that is where I am expecting the market to move into in the next coming days. Market should move from where it is right here into this very area on TRX, and then from here we can see some kind of retracement and the next move to the upside. Of course, if we see the market push into this area and then we see another candle that break above this very area of important resistance, the market is going to begin to climb upward as well, which is very, very important. But on the immediate short term, if you come to the 4 hours chart, because something very important here that we need to pay attention to is the fact that market has moved into a point of interest. Look at it right here. There is a point of interest that market moved into right here, and then we see rejection. So from this very point, let me mark it out to be very clear. From here, there is a point of interest right at this very point. So market move into this point, we see rejection. Of course, this very candle is a hammer formation. So markets can move back into this area again before the final move to the upside. What that means is market can come back down from here into this area and then final move to the upside. I am not expecting the price of TRX to go below this very point right here, this very area, because this is our order block area where we see a pause before the market move upward. So if we see the market come back down, market can go below this and come into this area and then the final move to the upside, or market come back down, come into this point, the final move to the upside. I am not expecting the market to come down, break this area and go right down. That possibility is there, but I am not looking at that right now. I want to see the market push upward. And the reason is because if you look at the 1-day chart that I have just shown you, it is covered that the market have greater momentum of pushing upward. So if the 1-day chart is showing that kind of momentum, then it means that the 4 hours chart should move in that light, in as much as we've seen this rejection from this very candle on the 4 hours chart. It means that the momentum is already coming in already. The worst case scenario we can see is for the market to come down, then the next move upward, or come to this very point before the next move to the upside. Very important. Pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market. And if you come to coin market cap here, it is covered that the global crypto market capitalization have had significant decline for the past 2 weeks. And this decline is very, very significant. Look at it right here, $3.67 trillion all the way from 4.30, okay, $4.30 trillion back down to 3.67. I believe in the next coming weeks, especially after the meeting between President Trump and President Xi, the market is going to recover. We are going to have significant recovery all the way to the upside, because I perceive that they are going to agree to something, okay, that is going to stop this ongoing trade war between the US and China. And if you look at the fear and greed index 33 and look at the altcoin index 27, not good for altcoin. I want to see this into 65, okay, 65 to 70 for us to see good hope in the market. And the RSI, this is the average crypto RSI index. It is already within the middle region. I want to see this push into overbought, especially into this very extreme area, because when it's at extreme, it creates this euphoria. And of course, if it stay here for some time, that is the best time to actually sell off. When it come back here is the best time to actually buy. And this is what we need to pay attention to right now. If you've not joined this channel, join right now. It is a free channel. We receive updates on chain data and many more. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.